Hello Tubesters, it's me Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. We're on number 2 of the Eduard FW190A, I think, stroke R, and that's the Profipac edition. It's a 1 in 72 scale. I did a video a while back just introducing it, and I think I've done an unboxing as well, more than likely knowing me. It's just taken a while. I still haven't got any undercarriage on it yet, but I have got most of the decals on, apart from just the last couple of stencils. There's some stencils to go on the undercarriage, which I'll be sticking on tonight with the last couple of bits. There's a drop tank which I still haven't painted yet, and that has to have stencils on. There's a lot of stencils for a little aeroplane actually. You always think it's modern jets that are plastered with stencils, but it's not. Things, again, I was struck on the idea of doing the 1 in 72s because I could learn the filling, all that type of stuff. Now I've gone over to doing mainly filling, apart from on very small seams or hard to get to. I fill the seams now after doing the foil. I've been working away on the foil project, which will be a separate video because why not? And I taught myself how to do the CA glue filling method, and that really works for me. I'm not brilliant at it yet, and so I probably oversand it in places and get a bit of a rippled effect. Nice bit of canning going on, especially if it's not actual metal surface and it's one of those not daub, is it? Doped fabric is a word I think I'm after. So this one was just done with normal Vallejo putty and some isopropyl alcohol. Tired today, can't get the words out, do apologise. When you've got a mashed head you don't sleep much. So there's been pros and cons. I did a lousy job filling there wasn't a huge amount of filling to do on it, to be fair to the kit. Along the wing route at the front, technical word, I was going to do a lot better on that, and then I went and sprayed the aircraft, completely forgetting, and I just didn't have the heart to go back to it. One of the big problems which I still seem to be having a lot of time, I'm a bit hit and miss with it, but it happens more than it doesn't. I get that sandy dry texture. Now this is lacquer paint going down, so am I spraying it? I'm spraying it roughly around 20 bar on the compressor. If I was spraying it too far away, I think with me, because in the past I've flooded areas, I get a bit worried that I'm going to start ending up with runs and everything like that. So maybe I am going too far away. I'm not sure, but I end up with that blooming sandy texture. Well, of course, when you put the decals down, I know I've got silver because I can see the air pockets. I had put a gallery. The only varnish I use, because I use it on my figures, is the Galleria from Newton and Windsor. But a lot of the modellers actually use Galleria, especially the matte and the satin. I use gloss on it. I cut it with a bit of Mr. Colour thinners. I'd ordered some Mr. Colour. That's another thing. I'd ordered Mr. Colour thinners, and they've sent me it was an eBay one, and they sent me Mr. Colour levelling thinners, and they just sent me Mr. Colour thinners. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, because I've been using that up because I didn't want to obviously waste it. But I will get some more levelling thinners. But you can see I knew it. You know, although did I not put enough varnish down, because it still looks more satin than gloss. But you just feeling the paint, it felt rough, you know, and I knew I was going to get air pockets underneath it, and I rolled my cotton bud over it. I put set and sole on top, set underneath, sole on top. I've yet to put a satin varnish over the top yet, but I just wanted to explain some of the ups and downs of the modelling process. Normally I beat myself up a lot, as we all know, when things don't go right with my modelling, or my painting for that matter. But with this little kit, there's more positives than there are negatives, and we're going to go down to the bench now and have a look, because I'm waffling and you're not seeing. It's just as easy to explain them while we're looking at the aircraft. So join me at the bench and we'll get the Focke-Wulf 190 on the bench. Right guys, here is the little fella. It's on one of my milk bottle tops, just because obviously the prop blade is touching the floor. Let's see if we put it by the engine cowling. Now, observant amongst you will, yeah, I know you're all looking over your shoulder, which one's the observant one, but the observant one will notice I kept talking away that it was going to be green 3, and look, it's red 1. That was because I think I mentioned as I've only done 2 videos, I'm not sure if it was the last video, but a couple of the versions have the armoured, which is like an armoured square of canopy glass. So let me just get a non-sharp implement. So Gavin nearly picked the scalpel up. Right, here we are. There is a square of glass on here, extra, that you stick on. I put it on with the microset injury in crystal clear, and they just both slid off the next day. Whether I needed to have IPA'd the canopy or I have no idea. And it also hadn't set very well. It was quite it wasn't crystal clear, let's put it that way. So it did me a favour in one sense, because this is a spare canopy that I'm using. As you can see, I can guarantee that there's going to be that's not sitting properly, so I'm probably going to try and take that off. That's done with crystal clear as well, and I've put a slither of extra plastic in there, but it just couldn't get it to sit properly. But I'm going to have another go, take it off when this is all done. But this is here just to cover everything with some masking tape over the top and at the back. I'm going to have the canopy slid back, so I've got another canopy which I haven't painted. It's all masked up, but it's not sprayed yet. As you can see, let's go to the wings first. These are white. The problem is the light's throwing everything off now. I'm doing it again. Why don't we just actually move the camera to the thing you have? So we can see that I'm more than likely going to get, see all those bits there. You just know that that's going to show up. But I did these last night as well, these demarcations, not very well, as you can see. They were, again, for some, I'm just learning all this, and to try and get a straight line when this is all over the place and bending over it under itself, that was really hard. So I'm not going to beat myself up over that. As I say, this is all a learning curve. I am disappointed in the paintwork in a degree of, I mean, that's had a bit of, well, obviously it's had varnish over, so it's not as rough, but I can still feel it. So I'm not massively happy about that. But I just keep saying to myself, they're getting better. I'm doing another aircraft as well in the background, which won't probably be shown for another week. And we'll see how the decals go on that one. These are obviously decals here. In one sense I'm glad, because could Gav do a nice square off, but and they have conformed quite well. We'll see when we've got some varnish over and some weathering, because obviously we've got to weather all this as well yet. The spray work, I've done the lights robbing it a bit. I used one of those splatter mask type things, and it worked, and it didn't. I've gone obviously heavier in places than others. Maybe in real life they would have done that, I don't know. That's just my stuff up. But what I found was, yes, I'd get these nice patterns, but you'd still get like overspray or underspray, whatever. So it covered a lot more of the base colour up. Again, I don't know how good that was, or how, in real life, I mean. This was put on with blue tack. You see, I've had to go up to the edges because there was some underspray. But again, I don't think that wasn't half as bad as I thought it was going to turn out. So, as I say, I'm not beating myself up over this one. There's pros and cons to it. I knew that this was going to happen, but I needed to paint it all, and I've knocked about every other piece of blooming photo etch off apart from this one. I even put one of the radio antennas that sticks straight down. I put the plastic one on there and still managed to knock that one off as well. So I might have to fish around for something for that. It'd be a shame not to put it on. I'm really happy with the spinner. That was, it's not they give you about 4 options and of these twirly things, and this I don't believe this is the one that was supposed to go for red one, but I stuffed up the first one. Obviously it's a great big long decal, and you know, you need a bit of experience to get it right first time, or a bit of luck. And it took a second attempt. There is one very slight bit that is a bit out, which I can't show you because it won't let me. But somewhere under there's a very slight ripple. But again, you know, it's one of them little victories. you put it on, and you think, "Blooming heck, I've done one of them spirals." I like that. So yeah, that's come up really well. I like that. As I say, I'm doing stencils at the moment. I'm trying. If you remember, that very first one I ever did was the Starfighter, and as I was touching it, stencils were coming off and all over the place, and my fingers. So I'm trying not to. But yeah, I'm putting all the little stencils on that I can. I stuffed up. The one they have like a little serial number that goes on the top of the tail for the aircraft either side, and I completely butchered that trying to get them on. Now I've got lots of the others for the other 4 aircraft, but it seems a bit. It don't seem right sticking another serial number on this particular, as these are specific aircraft. You know what I mean? So I think I'll probably leave it off. There's not a lot to show underneath. There's going to be some more written stencils underneath here somewhere. Quite a big block. They'll go on tonight. I'm only doing like an hour a night when I finish other stuff. So yeah, there's our little guy. The other thing, as you can see, I've hand sprayed the air defence bar. It was red for, well, not air defence, but I mean it's the recognition colour for the defending the Reich, as it was called, and it was red. As you can see, different theatre operator, white, red, white, yellow, but obviously for Germany it was red. If the swastika offends anybody, I will be putting a. Actually, I won't actually, because I've just done it. I'm doing the video now. Oops, a bit late. Well, if you're offended by the swastika, I'm sorry. My belief is, when it comes to doing historical models, you know, it carried one in real life. You know, I'm not going to go into the politics of it. I like to represent miniatures, whether it's an aircraft, a tank, a figure. Whether the figure's a wargaming figure, whether it's a bust, you know, display figures. If it's a particular, I'm not buying into a particular figure, you know. I'm just or a tank or an aircraft. I'm just buying into the experience of building it. So, you know, if you're offended, I apologise. I will put it in the description if I remember, so that you can walk on by if you don't like that. I've got to put some yellow tips on, which I'm probably debating to do. I'll just do that with a brush, I think, get some masking tape, I don't know, and do it that way. These were wooden props, which I didn't realise until I was reading my books. I've got, as I say, Haynes manual and a couple of other bits and pieces, and they were actually wooden props all through its service career. So if you do one of these, don't start doing a bit of metal flex on them, because, as I say, they were wood. And in fact, they've got several Flugwerks, is it, in America? They've built several of these as flying replicas, and I believe because I've seen a crashed, a belly landed one, and they've been using wooden props as well. So yeah, there we go. You just know when I come to take that canopy off to put the other one on, that they'll have a load of underspray all over that nice little cockpit. But as I say, I keep saying it, I've had a lot of enjoyment of this, and I'm having a lot more enjoyment even on the one I'm doing at the moment, which is going to get some more paint this afternoon. as I say, it's a shame about the roughness of the paint. That detracts, you know, on the debit side of this particular project. Rough paint, which I really didn't want. I didn't do very well on the gloss for some reason. Don't know why that happened. But the theatre band, I've kind of gone off track. Theatre band, what I was trying to say was, I even see that as a bit of a win. Now, yes, as you can see, it flares out slightly at the base. It's my first time masking a band or masking anything like that, and I didn't. The good bit I'll take away from that is I didn't get any underspray. You know, there isn't any clouds of red, which I was terrified with. So we've got a slight where I've masked it not brilliantly. It flares slightly there, and there is one bit. I'm trying, being careful that I don't take off transfers. I don't know if it's on that side. Can't really see now. There's a slight bit that goes in, but I'm hoping to cover that. If the stencil hasn't covered it, just with a bit of luck, I'm hoping to get that covered with you know, a bit of weathering of some description. So that's my little Focke-Wulf 190A. As I say, lovely little kit. As I said to you, I did say roughly the price, how much it was. For a Profipac, you know, it gives you especially people like myself who are only learning, you can get to practice your skills on it. It's not a lot of money for the enjoyment you get out of building it. The kit itself, as I say, there wasn't huge problems. I can't seem to get that canopy at the front to sit properly, but that, with my building skills, it's probably my fault. You get obviously a giant, as obviously Eduard's known for, you get a giant selection of options of what you want to do. You can build a couple of the more armoured versions. As I say, I just went with this one because I'd stuffed up the armoured version. So the pilot actually, I think it says in the notes, actually took the armour glass off this one. But yeah, you know, again, for somebody I built that Starfighter badly. I got halfway through the Sea Fury and ended up binning that one. And I couldn't build the P51 because that was just, for somebody with my skills at the moment, I couldn't get that to go together. But it is, I don't really care about that. It's been used to teach myself to foil, which is coming along quite well. And I will get a video up at some time at the end of the week for that one. I was just adding a few more bits of foil to that because I would like to do Eduard do a P51 in 1/48 scale Mustang, and they do a recce version, which I'm not sure is for Europe or not, but it's bare metal, obviously with a bit of paint on it, and they do, and I believe these are Profipac ones, and they do the ones for the Pacific, where a lot of the Silverbirds flew as well. So I do like the bare metal one, and I promised myself, you know, it's going to be probably a couple of months away, but I'll get that at some stage. I think they're about 30 quid. But I might well get that in a couple of months and have a go at doing a whole foil aircraft. Anyway, I digress. There you go, guys. I'll say I have got another aircraft. Apart from telling you I've got another aircraft, I'm not shouting about it because whenever I do these, just like this, they always end up falling flat on my face. So I decided to build one off video and then just give you a reveal of it, you know, when it's all done. So that's probably about another week away yet, as it's it doesn't have the stencil data and everything on that this one got, so I might pick up a bit of time along the way, but I'm not rushing it. As I say, you know me, I've got 101 projects on, and I fish one down, do a bit on it, leave it, do a bit on it. Next video up will be the bust. I've actually got all the face done and the hands done on that. I'm dead chuffed at that. So, and the goggles and the helmet, flying helmet, apart from one piece, which I might either repaint. Well, I just need to darken a piece up, so you'll either see that or you won't before I've done it. But you will get that video either tomorrow or the next day. I'm actually going to prime I've put some of the wires and everything that dangle from the flying helmet. They got put in some hot water the other day and slightly manipulated, so they're going to get primed this afternoon. along with a load of Napoleonic cavalry I'm cleaning up. So yeah, the Gauls, they're creeping towards the end. Just got a few more bits before I start basing them, so you should see them fairly soon. And I've got a thank you video I'm going to do in a minute. Cheers. You look after yourselves, guys.